With that down and out of the way, let's move on to our third main topic. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by, well, look at that. It's submitted by Jack Sparrow. How fortuitous. And Jack Sparrow writes, "Hey, John and today's co-host. Well, today it's just me. Let's see. Today's co-host. I was scrolling through my feed. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Pop back up. Okay. I was scrolling through my feed to find... My screen keeps blinking out. Sorry, guys. Here it is. To find that we got this covered. It's reporting that in the wake of several court battles in between himself, Amber Heard, Disney is reconsidering Johnny Depp to return for the 6th Pirates movie. How accurate is this news? And what do you think the right move would be on Disney's part?" All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, over the past number of days, there has been a number of people and reports going around on a number of websites that Johnny Depp is once again being considered by Disney to bring him back in for another Pirates movie. Now, of course, a couple years ago, back in 2018, it came out that Disney was looking to move on in Pirates without Johnny Depp. So anyway, and then now these reports the last couple of days have started coming out saying Disney is actually considering bringing him back. So everybody starts talking about that. Is it possible that Disney could be considering bringing Johnny Depp back? Well, it's possible, but don't count on it. Don't count on it. And here's why. When you look at all of the sites reporting that Disney is considering bringing back Johnny Depp, and you start reading them, you realize they're all quoting the same place. So the one place that this story actually got its start from, this is the originating site for this story, is We Got This Covered. Now, for those of you who do not know, We Got This Covered is, I think, statistically it's fair to say, they are the worst site on the net for starting fake rumors. There was actually a study done not too long ago on tracking 1 year's worth of scoops and breaking news that We Got This Covered did, and they found that only 2%, maybe it's like 2.3 or 2.4, but roughly 2% of the stuff they break was actually true and truth. So We Got This Covered are the ones that started this story that Disney's considering bringing back Johnny Depp. And then all the other sites that have started reporting it, they're all just quoting this site. They're all just quoting the We Got This Covered thing. Of course, they have very little to no credibility for anything like this. Now, that doesn't mean it's impossible. So I instantly started to go and look at the major trades that actually have relationships with people inside Disney. So I went to The Wrap, I went to Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, all the major Entertainment Weekly, all the major trades, and none of them are reporting this. So it is safe to say at this point that you should not believe, and we should not believe, any report that says Johnny Depp is actually coming back. At this point, you should put it out of your head. Now, again, is it impossible that Disney could ever bring him back to play in a Pirates movie? Well, of course it's not impossible. They could. Tomorrow, the new CEO, Bob Chapek, he could wake up, the new CEO of Disney could wake up tomorrow and think, you know what? I'm in a Johnny Depp kind of mood. I think I want to bring Johnny back. And that could happen. All I'm saying is, right now, there is absolutely no credible information out there. There is no credible report. There is no credible story out there that this, as it's being reported right now, is true in any way, shape, or form. So it's probably safe at this point not to count or believe any of those reports or rumors. Now, there could be some people out there, and I'm sure there are, that are saying, but with everything going on the news lately and, all this stuff going on, maybe they should bring it up. Well, you got to remember something. This is important to understand. And by the way, I really like Johnny Depp in Crimes of Grindelwald. I know a lot of people didn't like that he was cast in it. I know a lot of people didn't like the movie. I did, by the way. I know a lot of people weren't all that thrilled with him in it. I thought Johnny Depp was the best part of Crimes of Grindelwald. I really did. I thought he was the best part of the movie. I thought he was great in it. That said, we've got to remember that Johnny Depp's troubles and problems aren't based on his marriage situation. if you guys remember back in 2018, there was, and this was big news. I remember we did stories about this and all that kind of stuff back in June of 2018. There was this infamous article written in Rolling Stone when they went and did a sit-down information by Stephen Roderick, who went and actually sat to Johnny Depp's house, sat down with him, and this was a really disturbing article that caused a lot of concern about Johnny Depp. And this was the type of stuff that I believe ultimately kind of led to them wanting to move on from Depp. What's come out in the last couple of years, and Depp has admitted this, I mean, Johnny Depp has, not that I think I hold any of this against him, I'm just saying if you're going to work with him, this has been problematic. He has been somebody who suffered with a major alcohol abuse problem. There were reports that said that he drank $30,000 worth of wine a month. And when asked about it, Johnny Depp actually said, actually, it's more than that. There have been several movie projects, including one of the Pirates movies that once had to be delayed because he was on a huge drunken binge. And there are other movies that happened with What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which goes back an awful long time, but still. But this has been a consistent thing of his through his exorbitant spending, his lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. These are the types of things. Now, you add on top of that the fact that Johnny Depp, I mean, his movies that he actually leads have not done well in the past while. Like outside of Pirates of the Caribbean, when you're looking at movies like, let's not hold Sherlock Gnomes against him for that because that was an animated. That doesn't really count. But other movies he's done like, Black Mass, which I actually liked. Mordecai, which was a terrible flop of a movie and just a terrible movie in and of itself. City of Lies never even got a release. The Lone Ranger was one of the biggest flops. Transcendence was a huge flop. But basically, in the last number of years, films that he has been the lead for, the main guy in, other than Pirates, have not done well. So you had a lot of these things about personal problems with Johnny Depp. You had the fact that, the movies, people weren't rushing out to see his movies. And I think a lot of that, plus the fact that they had already done 5 Pirates of the I can't speak today. 5 Pirates of the Caribbean films that had him as the lead, and they were just ready to move on from. And listen, I'll say this. The last Pirates of the Caribbean film that they put out, I actually think it was the best Pirates film that they had done since the original. That's not saying much because I think all the rest of them were trash. But I think the last Pirates of the Caribbean film they did was probably the best one they had done. Yet I disliked the Jack Sparrow character more than I did in any of the other ones. Like they kind of changed Jack Sparrow from, yes, this drunken, adventurer and all that kind of stuff. But at the core of it, and when you go back to the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Jack Sparrow was a pirate to be feared and respected. Yeah, he had this savvy, he had that whole thing about him, yes. But as the Pirates of the Caribbean films evolved, right up until the last one, they just turned the Johnny Depp character into a joke. Like Johnny Depp stopped portraying the character with, yeah, he's got this exterior, but he's a cold-blooded pirate underneath that, and he's a man to be feared. That was all gone. Now he was just a clown. And anything that worked out for him was more like a Jar Jar Binks situation where, oops, he slipped, and that made the right result happen. You know what I mean? Like he would accidentally fall into success. And I started getting frustrated with that. So honestly, while it is very weird for me to think of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp, if you're going to do another Pirates movie, it probably is time to move on to a new set of pirates. Tell a new set of stories with new adventures. You've kind of did this one with Jack Sparrow as much as you can. Now, the last movie was the lowest box office film out of all the Pirates of the Caribbean films other than the original. But it still made almost $800 million. So, I mean, there are some people talking about, oh yeah, the last Pirates movie didn't do very good. It made almost $800 million. I mean, so make no mistake, it still did real damn good. It still did really damn good. But it to be fair to its detractors, it was the lowest grossing one since the original. Okay, yeah, true, but it still made a lot of money. That notwithstanding, I do maybe think it's time to move on. Now, if they announced tomorrow that Johnny Depp was going to come back, I'd be okay with it. Just because I like him as Jack Sparrow so much. But at the same time, I also feel like it might actually be a good move to move on from him and to go on to something else. He's not the big star anymore. He doesn't have that kind of box office draw that people think that he does. And, on top of that, with all the production problems that Disney has had with him as an actor on set, maybe it is time to move on. So right now, I'm kind of in between. I don't believe the story. The story's not true. But if he were ever to come back, I'd be okay with it. And if he doesn't, I'd be okay with that too. So that's just kind of where I am right now. Question is, guys, where are you on all that? Would you like to see Johnny Depp come back to play Captain Jack one more time? Do you think maybe it's run its course? Do you think you're dying for another one? How do you feel? Jump into the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.